that's why I think I always repost girls, whether if they're just posting in the bikini or posting on their stories. I love reposting it because I want them to be seen. I want them to know that I see them. They want to be noticed, and I want to give them that communication, like, this is a friendship. I'm doing this for the girls, like, I'm doing this for us.
The GenTech podcast discussing business, investing, and marketing.
Hey guys, welcome back to the GenTech podcast, bringing you valuable and inspirational discussion with top business owners. Today, I'm really excited to be having my friend on, Sam Coscia, the founder and CEO of Sammy Swim, an e-commerce store mainly focused on bathing suits, but also clothing. We're going to talk to her about how she uses influencer marketing, Instagram, and TikTok, and her inspiration for creating this brand. So, Sam, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Of course. So we'll dive right in if you want to tell the audience a little bit about you.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm the owner of Sammy Swim. I started it about, I think it's been a year now. I kind of started the idea. I'm currently a student at the University of Tampa. I'm studying advertising and public relations. And yeah, I'm just focusing on my business right now.
So, you started this business during school, which is crazy. So many college students, that's not the first thing on their mind. They're worried about partying and class. And how do you balance, being a full-time student and being a full-time CEO?
Well, I kind of always felt like I was like a hustler, and like I always knew I wanted to be like my own boss. I kind of just realized that I found something that I'm passionate about, and this is something that I really love to do. And I think that my passion kind of just overrides that. And with that, like, it kind of makes me want to work and want to do this. That is why I set aside this time to be doing this.
The cool thing about your company is that you actually design these bathing suits and you design this clothing. So did you have interest like when you were younger of being a clothing designer, or how did you find out that you had this talent?
Well, when I was younger, I worked in a retail boutique, and I always love fashion. I mean, like, it's basically like my favorite pastime is shopping and stuff, and I feel like a lot of people kind of know me for my fashion sense. Um, I kind of just realized that I've always been creative and never actually thought that I would be the one creating something to be in a boutique or something. I'd be the one kind of selling my stuff to retailers, but I kind of just wanted to always make something of my own, and I think being creative kind of pushed me to do that, and I kind of found this talent in drawing and designing, and kind of made a kind of brand out of that. And I didn't realize I could do it until I kind of presented the idea to my parents, and they were so impressed by how much like work and effort I put into this idea that they got behind it like right away. They were so excited for me, and they wanted me to kind of like go for this goal, and gave me the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, so let's go back to that. Did you have like any inspiration or any role models that you kind of looked to that started their own clothing companies? Like how did you
I
get this idea?
I think I was seeing a lot, especially during COVID. I was seeing so many girls kind of starting their own business. Like, I saw so many of, like, especially the tie-dye, like, sweatsuits and stuff. Like,
Yes.
that was huge during COVID. And I knew I wanted to be my own boss, and I wanted to do something like that. But I wanted to make something that was really genuine and authentic to me. And I wanted it to be different. I knew I wanted it to be unique to me, because I think that's what really sells, is that people see my brand and my name is on it, and kind of they want to buy it because it is so personalized to me, and they're not seeing that. And I think that if I was doing something and copying someone else, kind of copying a trend, it wouldn't succeed as well, because it's kind of been there, done that. I
I can
kind of wanted to make,
agree with
yeah,
that.
I
Because you
kind
look at those like tie-dye businesses that happened during COVID, like none of
Mhm.
those are around anymore. So your
Yeah.
idea was like an idea that was very original to you,
Mhm.
and that's why it's still so successful as a business.
Yeah. And I think it's so fitting. I mean, being in Tampa, and that's basically the uniform for girls. Like, you have plans, like, you're probably wearing a swimsuit. So the demand is so high, and you can't be wearing the same bathing suit all the time. You have to have a different one for every event. And I think I wanted to make something that, like, stood out and was unique and that girls could wear all the time and that would last them season after season and was made with the best quality materials.
That's actually such a great point. Like we said to our listeners, we are in Tampa, so sometimes you think a bathing suit company, they're only really going to have sales during the summer, but
Mhm.
that's not true here. There's sales all year round, and
Mhm.
also being in Tampa and you still being a student, I think that's also great because these girls are posting in these bikinis, tagging you all the time. Like
Mhm.
you're getting this free content, wearing it. People ask them, where'd you get your bathing suit from? And everyone loves like the Sammy Swim. And first, I feel like you had all your friends supporting you, and then now you just grown to like such huge lengths. It's crazy to see how you've grown. Like in the past year, you said it's only been a year.
Yeah, I kind of thought of the idea, I think February or March around was when the idea, but I didn't come out with the line until November. I didn't start selling.
Yeah, so for people who would love to like start their own clothing brand, can you tell us like a little bit about the process? Like where do you start?
Mhm. I kind of like was in the same boat. I was like, where do I even start? Like, I was like, I can't sew. I don't know how to make these bikinis. Like, this will never come true. I can't do this. So I kind of just started researching like YouTube videos, like how to start a business, where to find manufacturers, because it's hard to like, you don't know when you're paying for such um big quantities and how much a business actually costs, you want to be paying to honest people and who are going to give you quality products. So that was kind of like nerve-wracking finding a manufacturer. So basically, I started just researching YouTube videos. I watched how to find a manufacturer, what I would need to start it, swimwear companies. I would look up bios to owners, small business owners, see how they got their start, and kind of just started from there. And then from there, I found a manufacturer and kind of just got into really good communication with them. I talked to them so much, and the fact that I'm able to easily communicate with them and it's not um, this big gap and I don't know really who they are. I formed a relationship with them, and I think that's what kind of made things a little easier.
That's
And
definitely so important because you're like you said, you're trusting these
mhm.
people that you don't really know, like with your baby. It's your project and
Yeah.
you're obviously going to invest a lot of money into it. So you definitely have to take that risk when you're starting your own clothing business. And
Mhm.
I know a few other people who started their own clothing businesses and they have failed because they've ordered clothes that came in not what they expected. And I
Yeah.
want to kind of transition a little bit into like fast fashion. I think it's
Mhm.
so great that you're making like these bathing suits that can sustain you for a long time. And you don't have that many, it's like a certain number, but I think it's so much better because these bathing suits, you can wear them all the time. They're such great quality. And comparing them to everyone orders off Shein and how horrible fast fashion is, people are just throwing their bathing suits away after one use. So,
Mhm.
do you want to talk a little bit like how you feel about that?
Yeah, so that is exactly what I didn't want. I did not like how I would get these bikinis and they would come in looking, first of all, nothing like how I ordered them, and two, they would fall apart after one use. The seams would all break, everything would fall apart. So I think that is kind of what makes my business stand out is that I'm in a really saturated market. Every day there's new people coming out with new swimwear brands. And I knew I had to make mine stand out and I wanted to create a luxury product, but with the best making it out of the best materials. And like my mission is kind of just to use sustainable products and fabrics that are going to last and that people don't have to throw out. I want them to last over time and people to keep seeing my name because that is what's gonna last. And personal reviews from customers are what makes like a brand stand out because hearing someone just say, give a review like this is this and this is why you should buy it and it's clearly all scripted, that's why people don't trust those influencers. They want to see the raw and real reviews, and I want to give a product that, because my name is on it, I want it to be good enough where I'm proud of it and that people can just come out and say I love it just because. I don't want someone to say I love it because I'm being forced to say this or I'm being paid to say this.
That's such
And
a good point.
it's my name on it at the end of the day, so I want to be proud of what I'm making, and I don't want it to be some cheap product that you're throwing away. And I don't want it to hurt the environment, and I want them to be make a difference, and that is kind of like my purpose behind it.
Yeah, because like you said, it is your name on it. So
Mhm.
that makes it so important to you. Like obviously it's your business, but having your name on it, like you want these to be quality products. You want people to like them. And I want
Mhm.
to ask you a little bit about sales. So how were your sales when you first started, and how did you continue to increase sales and increase your brand awareness?
I think that in the beginning, I kind of just didn't really know where to market and I didn't know where the best places for that to be would be. And I kind of just was posting on Instagram, just doing like little pictures, but I realized that there's so much more to that. And a post is not just like a post anymore. You have to be checking the analytics, you have to be checking all the insights, and you have to see why is this post doing better than the other one? Why is this reacting better with this one? And I have to get into reels, and I think reels have helped me. They help expand my business. Getting into TikTok, even though TikTok for me is so difficult, I feel like just because there's so much work that goes behind like a 5-second video, and sometimes it could be so unrewarding because it won't do as well or it won't get views, but those ones could be the ones that do the best. And even Pinterest I think is so great for especially my audience, and I think that was kind of also understanding my target audience. Like Pinterest is really good for swimsuits and showing off my brand. So I think kind of just understanding where to market and where I should be selling to kind of helped my sales and helped um, kind of just like grow my brand.
I love that you say that because it's so important to one, know who your target audience is, and two, know what social media your target audience uses. Because I love that you mentioned Pinterest too. We
Mhm.
use Pinterest at GenTech, and a lot of people, wouldn't think that a marketing
Yeah.
agency could grow on Pinterest, but Pinterest is actually, we said this in the last podcast, it's the third top search engine. So like behind like,
Wow, I didn't even know that.
yeah, so people are searching on Pinterest like instead of Google, and that's crazy.
Mhm.
Especially I do think with clothing and bathing suits, like people make Pinterest boards for trips and Pinterest boards for their style, for everything, and now having the Pinterest shop option too, that's such great opportunity for your.
Yeah, that's definitely like driven sales too. Like that's helped a lot.
Yeah. And like you said with reels, I think reels are super helpful and interesting, but it is crazy to see, sometimes you can put so much effort into a TikTok or reel and think like, oh, this is going to blow up. And it doesn't. And sometimes you could put such little effort into one and that's the one that blows up. Like
I
it's
know
hard.
it's so difficult.
Yeah.
I
But
know.
those are definitely such strong platforms to use to really grow your business. So your sales, like when did they really pick up for you? When did you notice?
I would probably say, hmm, I don't, I can't like pinpoint the exact date, I would say, but I did notice like through the influencer marketing I was doing, I would notice that that is when I would get sales. Like certain influencers that would post in that bikini would be getting a lot of sales, and people would be asking because they would be sold out, when is this one coming back? When is this bathing suit coming back? And I would notice, oh, it's because that big influencer just posted in it, especially Mads Lewis. She posted in the Meg bikini, and immediately that bikini was sold out. And I was receiving so many DMs, when is this bikini coming back? When is this bikini coming back? And I think that is kind of what drives people. They see that that was not a sponsored post, that was just a gifted thing, and she wanted to wear it. She posted in it, and she was getting nothing from it but that bikini, and she was happy to be in it. And that is kind of what drives customers to be like, oh, I want that because Mads is in it.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, Mads Lewis is a famous influencer and TikToker, millions and millions of followers, and Sam sent her bathing suit. So I want to just like backtrack, like please tell us like the importance of influencer marketing in your company.
I think the importance is probably just the fact that I like to give it to customers or to influencers that I see are fit for my brand. I don't like to give it to people that I don't I wouldn't see wearing it, or someone that would feel forced to wear it, someone that would look authentically like um true in the bikini. Our bikinis are made for everyone, but I just believe that some people, maybe it's just not their style, or just not like their certain like type of bikini or something. And I think it's important to know who to give it to. And then I think that giving them full creative control is what kind of responds best with the audience. Seeing them just sell it how they want to sell it is kind of the most effective way, because they're the influencers. They are always selling products. They know how to do their thing. And I think giving them creative control and telling them instead of giving them a script is the most important. I just kind of reach out to them. I say, hey, do you want something gifted? And they respond if they're interested. If they're not, that's fine. I don't really take it to heart, but I just want them to kind of want it, and I don't force them to do anything. I kind of just give them just the free control and just want them to be happy wearing something, and kind of just show everyone else how happy they are in it too. In the beginning, like, oh, well, if I send this one bikini, is this like gonna trump my sales? Like, I'm gonna lose so much money. But that's the thing, you have to try. And I never thought that Mads Lewis would wear it. I kind of just sent it and I was like, oh, let's just cross our fingers. And she was one of the people that did, and some smaller people didn't even do it. And it's like you win some, you lose some. You kind of just have to try. And in the beginning, that's what you have to do to start a business. Like you have to, that's the market we're in right now. And that's how people make so many sales, is influencer marketing. And that's just what you have to do. That's how we spend our money now. That's how we spend our marketing money, instead of billboards or things like that. So I think it's worth it in the end, because it's just one free product.
That's true. And like we said, like you have to take these risks to
Mhm.
get that reward. And you took a risk and you took that hit of sending those free bikinis, but look at what it got you. Like it increased your sales so much and
Mhm.
got you so much brand awareness. People were following your account. So I think that is so important. And I want to ask if there were any challenges that you faced at the start of your journey for Sammy Swim.
I think there were definitely challenges kind of just in finding someone, or just even just giving myself kind of the confidence to do it. I think that I was so nervous because I am so young and I am still in school, and I was so nervous just presenting the idea to my parents and hoping that they would like it and be interested in it. And that's why it kind of just started off as such a just a thought, and I didn't really think it could ever be anything anymore like than just a thought. And I think just kind of going for it and explaining to them how like how determined I was, I think was so impressive to them. And then I think also um, probably just being afraid of what other people would say and if other people were going to like it. I think is so nerve-wracking, and there's so much people can judge you so much, and you could get judged for just posting something that you're passionate about, and people judge you today. And I think you just have to realize that people are going to judge you for everything you do. So if I'm passionate about it, I don't really care. And there'll be people who support me and there'll be people that don't. So you just kind of have to try. And
And I do agree, like, how social media is, posting these TikToks that go viral. You have people commenting that love everything, and you have people commenting that are going to hate, and those trolls. And how would you say to deal with that? Because I think, some people really let it get to them, or let it get to their brand. And maybe you wouldn't have let that idea become a reality if you listened to all these people around you. So, like, what advice would you have to business owners to, like, not pay attention to that?
yeah, definitely. I think that people can definitely take it to heart, and I feel like I maybe thought like maybe I wasn't strong enough to do it kind of thing, but you just kind of have to ignore it totally. Be respectful to everyone and understand other people's point of views, but just don't let it interfere with your goals and the motivation you have for your brand, I would say. And yeah, kind of just be respectful to everyone and their opinions, but don't let kind of people stand in your way from achieving things, I would say.
That's perfect. And I want to just let you talk a little bit more about Sammy Swim. Do you have any like new business ventures, and maybe talk about the growth of how you started just with bikinis and how you're now growing into a bigger market?
Mm-hmm. Well, right now I actually I'm going to be in two retail stores, which is like huge for me. My
Amazing.
first a few months ago, I was offered the opportunity to be in a retail boutique in Miami called Justified Hunt. So I have some bikinis in there being sold, and now I'm going to soon be sold in Hazel Boutique, which is actually in my hometown. One of the locations, they have three locations and over 100,000 followers on like Instagram. Um, and they're a pretty popular place. So I think kind of just like being seen by retailers and being bought by them and having them like my products and them seeing my vision is kind of just so rewarding to have someone else like kind of want it and believe in it enough to support it and bring in such like that quantity into their business. I think working with small businesses is so important to me, and just learning from them is so insightful. And I just really like learning from like women, small business owners. It's just like so exciting for me. So I think kind of just like moving into where else I could spread my business into, and working in retail spots and seeing how big I could grow this is kind of just the next business venture kind of thing I'm on to.
Yeah, I think that's such a great next step. Obviously, you're killing it with e-commerce,
Mhm.
and these boutiques are the perfect place to put your bathing suits. So, did you reach out to them? Like, how did you make that happen? Because that's such a great opportunity for your company.
Yeah, these kind of honestly fell into my lap, I would say. I think making connections with people, because you never know who you're talking to, who's going to give you advice, who's going to give you that connection. And I think that's the best way to kind of make connections in this business, is talking to people and constantly promoting yourself and putting yourself out there. So for the first one, Justified Hunt came from a mutual friend I had. They reached out to me and was like, I want to put your bikinis in my store. Like, please send us whatever you got. Like, please.
Mhm.
So that was so exciting. First, just hearing that so soon after I started, I was so excited. And then the next one, Hazel Boutique, their store in my town, and I'm close with the business owner. And I think that making that relationship with her really is what got me this opportunity, because I would talk to her I built this relationship with her, and I was close enough with her to ask her if she wanted to sell my bikinis, and she was immediately jumped at the opportunity and was so happy to support me and support another small business. So
That's awesome. Definitely. Like you just showing that support and networking and talking to these people, making connections, like you said, like you'll never know when you need them or when they'll need you, and that's great that you get to work with them. So kind of going into that, what's the most important lesson you think you've like learned over your career of being an entrepreneur and starting your own business? Like what lesson, and then maybe what like skills are important to have?
I would probably say like jumping at every opportunity that is presented to you. Don't kind of half an opportunity that you have. Kind of give 100% into everything you put out, because people will see if things are done sloppy. People will see if things are done kind of just not to its full potential, and that will definitely show in growth and over time, and your goals will not turn out as how you planned. I think you really need to stay consistent in this business because there are new people coming in every single day, and there's going to be times where you don't want to work and you're in a rut, or you won't have any creative ideas. And I think that you need to just push yourself and really like take every opportunity as it comes and give everything to it, because even this like this is something like is so out of my comfort zone, and like talking on like a podcast is something like I never really thought I would be doing or thought I was like confident enough to do. And I think I kind of was just like, oh, well, I'm just going to do it like yes right away. So I think just kind of pushing yourself and saying yes to every opportunity is kind of the biggest.
Yeah, that's such a great point. I agree. At times, like owning your own business, that's a full-time job. And like you said, like you have to be consistent on social media. You have to remind everyone and make sure they don't forget about you. Like it's so true. It's a lot, but like you said, you were determined and you've been doing so amazing. I want to kind of like transition now into social media and really like dive deep into your social media because I think you do such an amazing job at that. So first, I want to ask you, what are some inspiration? Like, how do you get inspiration for your reels and your TikToks?
I would probably say looking at um just like all like on my For You page is all like the same thing kind of, and I kind of just try to make something that will stand out, but I always try to make it really authentic to myself. I always like to put like a little spin on it just so I feel like that's what does the best. Like people want to see me and my voice, and they don't want to see just something I copied from someone else. I feel like the ones that interact the most, I get interactions with the most, is kind of the ones that are about me, and like people like to hear my story and how I created this and how I made this myself kind of thing, and seeing a small businesswoman.
Yeah, I think it's honestly like so great to get inspiration literally by just scrolling on your For You page. Especially you probably follow like so many like businesses. So just seeing what the trends are and then,
Hmm.
seeing like, okay, how can I really
Definitely
get,
following trends.
yeah, to my niche and to my business and industry? Like, how can you, make this trend your own?
Mhm.
And I think you do such a great job at that, especially.
Thank you.
And want to tell us a little bit about like I see it so much, like girls love posting in your bikinis and tagging you. And how do you like do that? And how would you, give advice to other business owners to encourage them to have like your audience post you so much? You're just getting, free marketing because everyone just posts and tags.
I know, and it's so crazy because I really did not even like I wasn't even expecting that, but I think it's also one, girls love posting in bikinis. That is everyone's feed regardless. Girls love posting in bikinis, so it was a good market to go into for that. Um, I think just that it's kind of almost a trend to have a Sammy swim, not to sound cocky, but a lot of
It
people
is.
I feel like who talk to me, they're always asking, they want one because they're seeing it so much coming up. And I think that kind of getting all my friends to wear them and them and my audience seeing this whole friend group is wearing them. They're always posting pictures in them. So I think having my friends honestly was such a great blessing. They love posting in them. Even you, I've had modeling my stuff, and people love just like posting because I take these pictures for them sometimes. Sometimes it's me and they're getting good quality photos out of it and they love to show off these photos. So girls are like, I want that too. I want that experience. I want that Sammy Swim bikini. And I think it's almost like fun to receive one. I like to make sure that like everyone is like gifted almost like a present, like it's their birthday when they open them. It's like a little gift. Like that's so
Yeah, talk
fun
about
for
your
me.
packaging. That makes like I think your company stand out so much, especially.
Yeah, I always like would see on TikTok and stuff like packaging, like pack with me orders. Like those are like some of my favorite things to watch on like TikTok or Reels is like a small business owner packaging their thing, and that always like was so exciting to me because I'm just such a creative person and I thought that was just like so fun, and I like love arts and crafts kind of supplies. So I think just kind of doing that, and I actually like making and wrapping each like thing to make it like a present. Like I think that's so fun and I would love to receive that opening like a little gift. So I
And
think
your
that
packaging also like makes girls take pictures of it and then
mhm,
post that on their Instagram. Like it's all just great marketing. Like girls tag Sammy Swim because you guys have all those followers. They want you to repost their bikini pictures.
mhm.
And then you just having that beautiful packaging, you open it and you see like the pink and polka dots and everyone just wants to post that.
Yeah, I know. I think it's so exciting for me. I love seeing like girls post, and that's why I think I always repost girls, whether if they're just posting in the bikini or posting on their stories. I love reposting it because I want them to be seen. I want them to know that I see them. Um they want to be noticed, and I want to give them that communication like this is a friendship. I'm doing this for the girls, like I'm doing this for us. This is our bikinis, like I
Mhm.
want them to be seen. So I like kind of just having that relationship with my customers and responding to them and being active.
And especially, I think you're like empowering all these women also, making them feel beautiful and reposting everyone and, just
Mhm.
hyping everyone up. And everyone loves a brand that does that. Because again, like we said, your brand can feel like very personal. And
Yeah, I definitely try to do that. I definitely try to like prioritize like hyping women up. That's very important to me. I want to make bikinis that kind of that you don't have to work your way to fit into them. I want them to just fit you perfectly, and I want to see just like everyone in them. They're not just for me. I didn't just make them for me. I want them to be everyone's. But I think kind of putting my little spin on it kind of makes it that extra little thing to kind of just make me unique and make it my brand, my personal.
so, Sammy Swim right now, what are the social media platforms that you utilize the most or utilize at all?
Definitely the most is Instagram. I try to post on there at least once a day. I do stories and reels kind of like sporadically during the week. I some days more than others, but definitely try to post at least once a day. And I definitely take advantage of the promote and try to market through that. And then I use TikTok pretty often and Pinterest. Every time there's a new picture, I'm always posting, or I'm just randomly on there throughout the day, like adding to my board. I would like to start getting on Facebook. I know you guys are really big into that, and I definitely want to learn more into that because I know that we might think that Facebook is kind of dying or something like that, but no, like the advertisements are soaring, and I've definitely heard a lot about it, and I definitely want to get more into that.
Yeah, I think Facebook would be such a great opportunity for your business, especially running ads on Facebook. They're so effective with clothing and your bathing suits are beautiful. Like I do think that would soar your
Oh,
business as
thank
long
you.
as you have the inventory and everything, I think, that would be a great next step is running these like Instagram and Facebook ads. And I think that would 100% take your business to the next level.
Hmm. Yeah, I definitely want to kind of dive into that.
Mhm.
I'm just kind of just not even familiar with it. The reason I kind of stuck so much with Instagram was because I'm always on it, just even in my personal life. And that's why I think that my Instagram kind of is so personalized to me. It kind of is almost like my own Instagram. Like I look at it as. So it's so personalized to me. And I was so familiar with the app that it was so easy. And that's why I think that the Instagram does so well.
And can you talk a little bit about your personal brand and maybe like the importance that you think of having a personal brand is?
I think definitely because my name, first off, is on the Sammy Swim. So people want to know who is Sammy. So they come visit my page, and I want to make sure that I'm kind of giving off definitely like professional, giving off very I want to give off a good look, but I also want to be myself and be very genuine to myself. And I don't want to give off a fake persona. I want people to be able to interact with me as a person and as a friend too. And I want them to be able to follow me and I want them to be able to communicate with me. And I think that that's fun to be able to see a small business and be able to kind of communicate with the owner because I am so young and I do resonate with the girls buying the bikinis.
Yeah, that is such a good point. Like you are your target audience.
Hmm.
So that does also give you like such great insight. Like you know who to target, you know what they're
Yeah,
for
because
and
I
you
know
can
what I like to see, so I kind of do it kind of based off my personal preferences.
exactly. So we're running out of time, but I just want to ask one more question. Like what do you hope our listeners learn from this podcast, or what's one thing that you want them to remember?
I would probably say that you're not too young to start your own business. You could kind of do it whenever. Um, you might think like maybe you have not enough time, but I think that if you're very passionate about something, you will make time for it. And if you put the effort into it, it will turn out well. And you just kind of have to push yourself and you can't shy away from the judgment. You have to really put yourself out there because you can't just kind of hold it to yourself and hope it explodes. That won't happen. It takes time and it takes effort and promoting, and there is a lot of work that goes into it. So you have to be ready, but it is all worth it. And if that's something that you really want.
Yeah, and I would like to remind our listeners that Sam is 20 years old. So,
Mm.
she's 20 years old. You were 19 when you started this,
Yeah.
and she started a whole successful business. So, it's just been so great talking to you. I'm going to
Yes.
recap
Thank you.
everything we talked about. So, again, this is Sam Coscia of Sammy Swim. She talks about the importance of influencer marketing in her company and her personal brand, how she wants to empower women, and also how important consistency is when having your own business. And she gave so much great advice to any aspiring business owners. So, I hope you guys could really learn something from this. And, Sam, thank you so much. Do you want to tell your
Thank
listeners
you.
where they can find you and where they can find your company?
Yes, so my website is sammyswimco.com and my Instagram is sammyswimco and my TikTok is sammyswim.co and TikTok is the same as Pinterest is the same as the Instagram sammyswimco. So, yeah.
And you can find us at GenTech Marketing on all social platforms. So thank you guys so much, and I'll talk to you guys next week.